Well, we are understanding that Governor Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida is joining us on the phone. Actually, we're working to speak with Governor DeSantis in just a moment to talk about how the state is responding to Hurricane Sally. A lot of people really were caught off guard, Jessica. We've been talking about this storm over the last week or so. Originally, we thought it could hit as far west as Mississippi, and it just kept drifting east. It surprised a lot of people.
With every update, it drifted east. And what Northwest Florida is dealing with this morning is something that a number of the officials there at the EMA press conference said they just weren't expecting. It's extensive flood damage. Downtown Pensacola alone, 3 to 4 feet of water in downtown Pensacola. And for a while there, the water was still rising. Meteorologist Thomas Gieboy tells me that the water there is now stable and has been at a steady point for the past hour. So that is the good news. But 5 feet, is that what he said? 5 feet.
Oh my gosh, still around 5 feet there in downtown Pensacola. I mean, that is, and just looking at those pictures that Aaron just sent us from Pensacola. Now, his apartment complex, I believe, is on Pensacola Bay, but to have that completely flooded, here he is on the second floor, just hoping he's okay. All right, now we have Governor Ron DeSantis on the phone. Governor, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us what you are hearing from the folks there in Northwest Florida about the extent of the damage.
Well, I'm hearing a dial tone. I think we have lost Governor Ron DeSantis. We're going to try to get him back. In the meantime, we should talk about the water rescues that are happening in Escambia County, Florida this morning. Hearing from officials that there are 300 homes where they are coordinating water rescues. They don't know how many people that they're dealing with between all those homes, but 300 homes trying to get people out, evacuating from those homes this morning.
And that is going to be very difficult. They're asking people to evacuate, but if you don't have a boat, what do you do? It's difficult.
And that's where the sheriff's office comes in. I understand we do have Governor DeSantis on the phone now. Good morning, Governor. We appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, no, I'm happy to do it. Hope everyone is staying safe.
If you could tell us what it is that you know so far this morning. We are starting to get some information about the 3-mile bridge connecting Pensacola to Gulf Breeze and perhaps some damage there and potentially another barge loose. Have you been briefed on either one of those situations?
Yeah, no, we've been briefed on it. We do have damage, and we anticipate there being, potentially more problems with some of those. We obviously are monitoring more than anything just the sheer amount of water. I mean, we knew that this would be a flood event. It's a very, very slow moving storm, and it's dumped an awful lot of water, particularly in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties on the Florida side. And so we have a number of assets that have been pre-positioned since the beginning of the week. We have urban search and rescue teams, high water vehicles. We have several hundred National Guard soldiers that are ready to go. They also have a number of high water vehicles. We have helicopters ready to go. Now, obviously, those would not be live until the winds die down. And then we have our special operations group from Florida Fish and Wildlife that could also assist and rescue. So what we're really looking at is, number one, first and foremost, protect life. No one should be hazarding these waters. Don't try to drive in it. Don't try to go. Just hang out if you're safe in your home or your condo or your apartment. Those who are in distress, we do have these assets here, and those assets will be deployed as soon as they can be. And so protecting life is the most important. We can always fix someone's property, but we can't unring a bell if someone is in harm's way and doesn't come out safely. Number two, we're seeing pretty widespread power outages in Escambia County, also in Santa Rosa. So we're in contact with the utility companies. It's probably going to take until the morning before the crews really get out, because when you have 80-mile-an-hour winds, they just can't operate in that situation. And so as the storm passes through, which obviously it's a very slow-moving storm, and the winds die down, those folks are going to be there because we understand how important it is to get the power back on. And then obviously, once you see the storm pass, we're going to be doing an assessment on the property damage. I mean, I've already spoken to folks. I spoke with Senator Broxton. He's like, I got 4 feet of water outside my house. There's other folks that have a lot of water. So there is going to be flood damage. There's just no way around that. I'm going to probably try to get out there tomorrow, be on site, work, and then the state's here to do whatever we can. President has signed the emergency declaration to help with reimbursements and the response from the federal side, which we really appreciate. We also, though, want people to know, depending on where you are in Northwest Florida, as this thing moves and dumps rain north of us, that could still affect us as these areas fill up and the water moves down. So you could see whatever flooding we're getting now, but this is something that we're going to have to be looking out for several days. And so we stand by ready to help in that regard. These instances when you have winds, 80, 100-mile winds is serious. That can do damage. But this water really is problematic, particularly as you get 25, 30 inches of rain dump like we've seen in Escambia County. And so we just want people to be very, very safe. The saying is, you hide from the wind but run from the water, and the water can do a lot of damage to both person and property.
It sure can. Governor, let's talk about the National Guard. Have they been deployed at this point, or are they still on standby?
Well, they're deployed. They're not necessarily on site until actually some of them will probably, when called, could probably start going now. They certainly can't do the air operations with the winds the way they are. Search and rescue is live. I spoke with the Escambia Sheriff, David Morgan. They obviously have a search and rescue component locally as well. So we've let them know, all these assets are at the disposal, and they're ready to go. We have not yet in the governor's office received a lot of information about people calling who are, in those situations, although I'm sure it is happening just because of the sheer scope of water. But yeah, they're standing by, ready to respond, and we also have the capacity to add several hundred more if need be. And I spoke with the General Eifert this morning, and so they're ready to go. I spoke with the mayors of both Destin and Fort Walton Beach, and it has seemed, at least up to this point, Escambia, Santa Rosa are really dealing with an order of magnitude different than what they're so far dealing in Destin or Fort Walton. Now, that could definitely change, and so we'll be ready. But we really are looking at, this is a historic flood event for the Pensacola area for sure.
In terms of that damage, we're hearing from Escambia County and Santa Rosa County officials. They're comparing it to the damage of Hurricane Ivan 16 years ago today. That Hurricane Ivan hit. Not so much the wind with this storm. It is the water that is causing so much damage there in Pensacola and throughout Escambia County. Governor, our local officials have said it, and I heard you say it as well, urging people to stay home unless they are in a life-threatening situation. They're urged to stay home. What message do you have for people who are watching and can hear you now?
Well, just understand that this water is hazardous right now. Do not try to venture into it. Do not try to drive through it. It's not going to end well. We've already seen scenes throughout Pensacola where cars are submerged. If you have a car out there that you're worried about, honestly, you deal with it on the insurance end, but don't put yourself at risk right now. This storm is going to pass. It's a lot slower than we would like, but it is going to pass. We will start to see the water recede, hopefully, but it's really best to stay out of there. Also, the wind is probably not going to do nearly as much damage as the water, as you said, and I've said. At the same time, when you have 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds, it's going to knock down some power lines. It's going to do things. When you have all this standing water and a power line in there, that's a really hazardous thing. And so people really need to be careful. Obviously, as the power crews get in, they're going to be able to clean that up. But as of right now, that's definitely a dangerous situation. And so we're here to help. We're going to have folks there, National Guard, search and rescue, you name it. But I think folks make good decisions. That'll make it a lot easier for the response. And obviously, most importantly, will help protect their own lives.
Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida's governor, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for joining us. And Devin, we heard the governor say that he is planning to visit the damage tomorrow. And there's a lot of it to see.
I know there really is. And the governor telling us specifically what he's hearing right now is that most of the damage is in Escambia and Santa Rosa County. Not to say that Walton County and the area of Destin will not see it as well, because we've seen